Namo Buddhaya. Welcome and welcome back to another video. From today's video, we're going to discuss about one of the major problems that we go through in our mind when it comes to the stress and anxiety. And that is the what if scenarios, the catastrophizing of mind. Now, this state of mind can affect for many people, and they suffer a lot when these kind of thought patterns hit their mind, right? So what if scenarios are like, you imagine all the worst case scenarios in your mind. Like, what if that happened to me? What if everything went wrong? What if they're cheating me? What if the people all around are up to no good? So we expect and we create these scenarios in our mind and we suffer in it. Okay. And our brain is pretty good at creating these scenarios in our mind, right? So that is why we need to learn how to deal with these kind of thoughts when they come into our mind. Not every time we get these kind of thoughts, but when there are certain times that we get these kind of mental states, and it's very painful, and people suffer a lot in these kind of thought patterns. And this is where the Buddhist practice of mindfulness comes in handy, right? In Buddhist practice, we call mindfulness as sati. Sati is the bringing your mind to this present state and understanding the reality as it is, right? So when you understand the true nature of reality, when you understand that everything, every experience, every mental state has one intrinsic nature, and that is changing. Every mental state, every experience is subjected to changing, right? But before doing that, there are certain things that we need to understand and we need to think and practice to deal with these kind of catastrophizing thoughts, right? These what if scenarios. The first practice, we need mindfulness to understand this, because we need to catch this thought, right? Without you catching this thought and understanding and realizing this thought, you cannot do anything, right? You cannot deal with anything that you don't understand about. So the first step is to know that you're in the mental state of catastrophizing, right? What if scenarios. So the first step is to understand and challenge your thought, right? How to challenge your thoughts. Now, in this practice, we need mindfulness. We need to catch this thought, right? And understand as it is. And then ask the question from yourself that, is this the reality, or is this just another distortion of my mind about the reality of the life, right? Because the mind and our brain can distort the reality in many ways. It can create many scenarios, but in reality, the problem is very, very little. Right? Sometimes there is no problem. I've seen this a lot of times in mind, that when we don't have much things to worry about, right? When the life goes smoothly, we worry about even about the little things in life. Okay? So that is why first we need to understand, is this reality, or is this another distortion of my mind about the reality, right? When you understand this, when you come to this present moment and understand what reality is, then you find that there are very few things that we need to worry about, and many things, right? 99% of what we go through is just another distortion of our mind, right? So challenging your thought is very important when you deal with these kinds of mental states. And once you understand the reality, now then you can ask from yourself that, what can I do about it? Is there anything that is under my control that I can take some actions to change this state, right? And then you understand that there are certain things in life that are under your control and that are not under your control, that are out of your control. So then you have to realize that the things that are under your control is totally worth worrying and totally worth taking actions. And the things that are not under your control, we don't have anything to do about it. And also we can't change that state. So what we can do is we can accept it, right? Once you realize the reality, one thing that you can do is to understand what is in your control and what is not in your control. And that is the next thing that you have to do. And once you understand the present state of mind, now you can add a little mindful practice to your life, right? Such as breathing meditation, right? A mindful in-breath and out-breath will help you to relieve your stress. Okay, this is something the Buddha introduced us to do, and Buddha emphasizes to do, to stop the chattering of your mind, to stop this restlessness of your mind. Because once you're in these kind of mental states, one thing that happens to your mind is you become restless. So a mindful breathing practice will help you to relieve the anxiety and relieve the stress from your mind and become more peaceful and calm. And there's another practice that you can do, and this is not directly mentioned in Buddhism, but you can set a time to worry about things, right? So what you have to do when the worryings and when these regrets and these kind of thought patterns come into your mind, say to yourself, okay, wait, there is a time in my day to worry about these things. So wait until that. I will wait until that. And when that time comes, I will do my worrying. I will do my regretting. So what you do, you set an alarm to yourself that I will worry in the future. So then set a maybe time period during the day that you sit down and think, okay, what is there in my mind and in my life to worry about, right? And to check the reality. And then you spend a good time. You don't spend that time worrying and regretting. You spend that time analyzing and not overthinking, but analyzing and realizing about the reality of the life and the present state of life, so that you find there are very few things to worry about in life. And all the other things that our mind has created inside our mind are just nothing but distortions of reality. So these are the few practices that you can add to your life. Whenever you get these kind of thought patterns, practicing these tips will help you to ease up your mental state. So practice this and make your mind peaceful and calm. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. If you take a healthy seed and plant it in an infertile pot or infertile soil, what will happen to the seed? Slowly by slowly, it will start to die. It will never grow. The problem was not in the seed. The problem was in the environment. Same goes with our life. Although we are good people, although we have good qualities inside us, the environment or the people around us can affect the good qualities and can affect our inner values. And that is why in Buddha's teachings, the biggest amount of focus is given for the people who we associate. At one time, Venerable Ananda asked from the Buddha, says to the Buddha, I think half of this Buddhist practice depends on who we associate, or half of the Buddhist practice depends on good friends. Then the Buddha said, Ananda, do not say that. Ananda, the full Buddhist practice, the fullest Buddhist practice depends on, the whole Buddhist practice depends on having good friends and having better friends. In Buddhism, we call them Kalyana Mitta, the noble friends. So who are noble friends? Noble friends are the friends who they direct you to do good things and to be a better person and to cultivate the inner values like love, compassion, patience, and practicing the Dharma. All these things, the people who help you to develop these things. So in the Buddha's teachings, having good friends around you is considered as a blessing to your life. The Buddha says this in Mahamangala Sutta. The Buddha says, Asevana cha balanang panditanang cha sevana etang mangala muttamang. That means the Buddha said, do not associate with people with lower qualities. Associate with people with higher good qualities. Okay, having a good association with people who have higher values and higher qualities will help you to improve in your life. And that is why in the Buddha's teachings, a major focus is given to the people who we associate. Even in the monks community, when we are living with monks, monks live in one aim, with the one aim to practice the inner qualities like love and compassion, sharing, meditations, and spiritual practice. When you're being around such a community, it is very easy for you to practice it. Now, when I began the practice of the monkshood, it was a challenge for us to practice these qualities like meditation. For an example, it was very difficult to meditate in the beginning, but we had group meditations. That means our senior monks meditated with us. Okay, we were sitting with the senior monks and we were meditating, and we see from the beginning of our monkhood, we saw that our senior monks are meditating for hours and hours, and that inspired us to meditate. So, having and being with a community of people who are like minded and being with people who can help you to improve is a blessing for all of our life. Now, when I say this, I know the question that comes to your mind. How can I have people around me that helps me to improve? Okay, because I live in a toxic environment. Maybe you're living in a toxic environment. Now, that is the problem that we most of the other people have, right? And then you may ask, like, I am living in a toxic environment, so how can I find good friends and how can I find people who are going to help me? Well, I know we don't get the exact environment that we expect all the time. There will be always toxic people around us. There will be always unfavorable environments around us. Okay? But from time to time, we get into contact with people with better qualities and better people and with higher values. And do not lose that association. Connect with them, be with them, inspired, get inspired with them, and then associate. Keep associating those people from time to time. The more you associate them, the more you develop the inner qualities. It's something like this. If you grow a plant in a little pot, right? For an example, if you take a bonsai plant, it grows in a little pot, right? So the environment is limited, the soil is limited. Okay, so what happens to the tree? It doesn't grow much. Okay, it start to grow slowly. But because of the environment, because the roots are stuck in that little amount of soil. What will happen if just one root came out of that pot and got connected with the ground? What will happen? The tree starts to grow. Same like that. If you get one connection, just one connection with a better person or a better person who has good qualities and who can help you, you should not lose that connection, right? You have to be connected with that person and you have to grow, and that will help you to grow in your life. So then the environment that you live in will not matter to you because you have that valuable connection with that one person. Okay, and that is why we need to choose the people who we associate wisely, because who we are are the people who we associate. And that is why they say that you are the average of 5 people who you associate. Just look around the people who are living with you. Okay, just look around the people who you share your life and see you're the average of those 5 people who are very close to you. So that is why we need to be very wise and very keen when we pick friends and when we pick people to associate. And if you got just one connection with a person who has better qualities and good qualities that who can help you to improve, never lose that connection. Be connected with that person and improve yourself. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. No matter how good we are, no matter how talented we are, there are certain times in life we are going to make mistakes. We are going to mess things up in life. In such times, one of the most common things that we do is we hate ourselves. And this self-hatred can end up in serious situations like suicide. See how many times we say, I love you to someone. How often we say? We say it often, right? But how often we say, I love myself. I appreciate who I am. This is something that we don't do oftenly. See, in Buddhist practice, the first step of spreading love and kindness is to practice love and kindness, or spread love and kindness to yourself. So the Buddha saw that without being filled with self-love and self-kindness, you cannot be kind to someone else. So that is why we have to learn how to be kind and how to love ourselves without hating ourselves. So from this video, I'm going to be sharing with you a few things that we have to understand and we have to practice to stop hating ourselves and to start appreciating and loving our life. Number 1, do not believe in labels. See, there are lots of labels that we have put on ourselves. For an example, your name. Your name is a label that was given by maybe your parents, and everyone started to call from that name, and it became your personality. It became who you are. Okay? Same like that, we are so good at labeling ourselves with our imperfections, with our mistakes, or with our incapabilities. But here's the thing, the more we label ourselves with our incapabilities, for an example, people say to themselves like, I am a person who is being angry all the time. Okay, I'm a person who has having a weak mindset. I'm a person who is lazy all the time. Okay, I don't have any friends. I'm not getting in with friends. Okay, I cannot be with these people. So the more you label like that yourself, it becomes your personality. And that is why we should not believe in the labels that we put on ourselves. Why? Because a label or your incapabilities or your weaknesses or your mistakes are just a thought pattern. And it is always can be changed. Okay? You can always improve. And that is why we should not label ourselves with our incapabilities and our mistakes or from our weaknesses. We always have the chance to improve and to evolve. Number 2, learn to accept mistakes. Mistakes are the proof that says that we are trying in life and we are not willing to give up on ourselves. Every great person in this world has made mistakes, and they have learned from their mistakes, and that is how they evolved, and that is how they achieved the greatness. Always remember, the mistakes will never define your character unless you define your character with your mistakes. So do not let your mistakes to define your character. Always you have the chance to improve and move on and make yourself a good person and improve yourself. Believe in it. Number 3, stop criticism. This is something that is very important that we have to focus on in loving ourselves. Stop criticizing yourself. Stop criticizing others. Now here I'm not talking about the constructive criticism. I'm talking about the negative criticism, okay? Do not criticize others and also do not criticize yourself, okay? Why we should not criticize others to put others down? In each and every time when we criticize someone, we give the message to our mind that we are better than them, okay? I am perfect than them. And you set standards to yourself. Most of the time, these are not realistic standards, okay? And when we cannot live up to our own standards, what happens to us? We hate ourselves. And that is how criticism steals the self-love and the self-value. And that is why we should not criticize anyone. And number 4, believe that imperfection is beautiful. Just take a deep breath and look into this nature. Everything has that one nature that is the imperfection. from the little plant to the great mountain, everything is imperfect, right? There is no perfectly symmetrical plant in this world. There is no perfectly symmetrical mountain in this world. Everything has the imperfection. And as humans, we also imperfect human beings, okay? And also it gives the chance for us to evolve. It gives the chance for us to be more productive and be more successful. See, becoming successful and becoming happy is not a destination. It is not a perfection, right? It is always a journey. We have to keep improving ourselves. We have to keep becoming successful, becoming happy. It is a journey that we go through in this life. So when you accept the imperfections, no matter how good we are, no matter how talented we are, no matter how great we are, there will be always imperfections in life. When we accept it, we can focus our kindness and our love towards ourselves. And also, every single day, this is something that you can practice. When you wake up in the morning, just sit on the bed and think, no matter how imperfect I am, no matter what mistake that I do in my life, I'm not going to give up on myself, right? I keep improving myself. I keep making myself a good person, a happier person, and I will never let go of myself. This is not something that is called selfishness. Selfishness is expecting many unrealistic things from yourself, right? And then when you're not up to your standards, you start to hate yourself. And that is why when you truly love yourself, truly love your imperfections, and truly love who you are and accept who you are, you get the chance to improve and you get the chance to evolve. And these are the things that we have to keep in mind in order to practice the self-love and improve the self-value. So keep practicing these things and make your life happier and healthier. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome everyone to another video. Today, from this video, I want to share with you few habits and practices that we monks practice in our daily life. And also I want to share with you few my personal practices that I do in my daily life. And I believe these practices and habits can help you to achieve a more happier and a more fulfilling life. Now, have you seen people, those who are doing extraordinary things, that average people wonder and think like, how on earth that person did that? Some people call it luck, okay? Some people call it they are clever. Some people call that they are very skillful, okay? But I would say the secret behind their achievement is a good set of habits that they have done every single day and they have practiced every single day, and those practices and those habits has become a normal part of their life. And that is why we have to focus our mind on the habits and the practices that we do in our daily life. Because what we do in our daily life, what we think in our daily life makes who we are, makes the character, okay? Makes our character. So that is why we have to focus on the good habits and try as much as possible to remove the toxic habits and replace them with a good one. So I believe these habits, these monk habits and personal habits will help you to achieve a more happier and a more fulfilling life. So without any further ado, let's dive into these habits. The first practice is the morning gratitude practice. Now, this is something that we monks practice every single morning. And that is to be thankful for and grateful for everything and every person in our life. So the first thing that I practice is I become thankful for the Buddha in the first step. And also for his teachings, it is called Dhamma, and noble community of monks, that is called the Sangha. So these are the three jewels in my life. So I become thankful for all those three jewels. And also, I genuinely become thankful for my teacher who taught me the Buddha's teachings. And also, I become thankful for my parents and my brother monks and people who offer me foods. Now, as monks, we don't earn money, we don't cook. So people come to the temple and they offer us food. So when we receive the food, we genuinely become thankful for them. And also, I become thankful for all the people who helps me during the day. For an example, there are so many people who are helping me to create these videos. So every single morning, I become thankful for them. And you can become thankful for them as well. And also, you can simply be thankful for everything and every experience and every person in our life. And also remember that you can be thankful for bad people as well, right? People who gave you tough times. Why should we become thankful for bad people and the rude people who gave us tough times to our life? Because those are the people who gave us ability to practice the patience and the mental strength, right? Without them, our life would be less interesting, okay? The more we face challenges, the more we face tough times, there's a story for us to tell. So we can be simply thankful for them as well for making our life story more interesting. In that way, you can practice this gratitude practice every single morning. When you practice the gratefulness and when you simply become thankful for everything and every person in your life, you start to feel the value of your life. Because sometimes we forget that we have a value in our life and think like, oh, my life is miserable. My life is worthless. My life has no value. But if you really think about it, if you really focus about it, our life is more valuable. And the first practice is that to practice the morning gratitude. The second practice that I want to share with you today is the morning meditation. Morning meditation is one of the most important practices that we do in our monk's life, right? Why meditate in the morning, especially? Morning is one of the best times to meditate because your mind is so calm and peaceful in that time. And also your surrounding is calm and peaceful at that time, okay? So morning meditations give you a refreshed start to your day. So as morning meditations, normally we monks practice, first of all, the love and kindness meditation, and some monks practice mindfulness meditation, breathing meditation, and a lot of meditations. So it depends on your choice what to practice and what not to practice. So morning meditation is one of the best practices and best things that you can do to start your day with a fresh start. The third practice is journaling. Now, this is something that I do every single day to have a good review on the day, right? What I did during the day and what I forgot to do. And also, I take time to write down all the good things and all the good deeds that I did and simply be happy about it. And also, finally, you can leave some space to write down all the things that you are grateful for in your life. When you write down all the things that you're grateful in your life, and if you do it every single day, it becomes a habit to remember all the good things in your life, all the valuable things in your life, and you will feel much more valuable about your life. So journaling is one of the habits that you can add to your life to make your life more happier and more fulfilling. And the fourth practice is mindful eating. Now, this is one practice that we monks do almost every single day. Normally, as monks, we all only have 2 meals per day. And in some monasteries, some monks have only 1 meal per day. So while we are having our meals, we become mindful and we focus our mind on the food that we are taking, right? So the first step is to recall and reflect on the purpose of eating. Now, what is the purpose of eating? As a monk, we have our food as a help for our health and as a help for our spiritual journey. So when you recall that, you know that you're having your meals with a purpose. And also, the next step is to be more mindful and focus our mind on eating. You can focus your mind on the texture of the food and the taste of the food and the warmth of the food, and simply be aware of it while having the meals. Now, while you're having these meals, the surrounding, and when everyone is having that meal in the same way, the surrounding is very quiet and calm as the monastery's dining hall. One interesting about the monastery's dining hall is the monastery's dining hall is very calm and quiet while the monks are having the meals, because they simply become mindful about their food. So mindful eating is one practice that you can do in your life. And if you're having a busy life, right, if you don't have some time to meditate, a separate time to meditate, you can practice this mindful eating practice as a meditation. So if you want to know how to practice this, you can watch this video right here, that I have done a separate video to how to meditate in a busy life. Check that as well. So this mindful practice is one of the good practices that you can do in your daily life. The fifth and the final practice that I want to share with you today is planning the day. Now, why should we plan the day? Because most of the time, we spend our day in autopilot mode, right? We always think, what should we do next? Sometimes we wonder what we are going to do, what we are going to do next. And sometimes we do the things that we don't want to do, and we don't give that priority to the important things in our life, and we miss to do all those important things. And that is why it is really important to plan your day before you start. So every single day, before you're going to bed, you can take a book or whatever that you use to note down, right? And plan your day and prioritize the most important things that you should do and you should focus on during the day, and try to do that most important task during the day in the first place, right? Try as much as possible to do the most important and the most difficult task during the day in the first place. Why should you do this? Because after doing that, you have that mental freedom, right? Mental clarity to do and focus on other things that values to your life. So every single night, before starting every single day, plan your day and start the day. Don't step into the day without planning. Then your day will be planned and you will have much good time, and you can allocate a good time to have a mental freedom and to practice meditations and spirituality. Now, so many people complain about, oh, we don't have time to meditate, we don't have time to read a book because we are so busy. No, everyone is not busy, because everyone has got 24 hours. We all have got 24 hours. Even the busy people, not busy people, organized people, well-organized people, and not organized people, unorganized people, we all have 24 hours. It is all about how we organize our day, how we plan our day. So it is really important to plan your day and work on that plan. And then you can have more free and a happier day. So these are the few practices that I do personally and we monks do in our monk's life that can add to your life. I think some of the practices you're also doing all those things. But if you're not doing this, add them to your life, and then you will start to feel that your life is more lighter, more happier, and more fulfilling. So I wish you all a healthy and a happier life. Namo Buddhaya.
Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to another video. In today's video, let's talk about how to control these emotions of anger. Well, anger itself is a natural human emotion. We all feel angry. But if we do not know how to control this emotion, if we do not know how to deal with anger, sometimes it can be destructive. And if we let that anger to control over our life, we will get into lots of troubles. So today, I'm going to introduce you a little practice that you can practice in your practical life to deal with this emotion. Well, first of all, I have to remember none of these practices are easy. In fact, nothing in life that brings us the happiness, that brings the peacefulness to your life is not an easy task. It is a difficult one. Though it is difficult, we cannot abandon it because we like to be happy and we like to be peaceful in our life. So that is why Buddha said that everything that brings the happiness to your life is a difficult task. So what are the things that we can do to deal with these emotions of anger? Well, the first and the foremost thing that you can do to deal with these emotions is to acknowledge that your thoughts are in anger. If you don't know your thoughts are in anger, you cannot deal with it. So this includes the mindfulness, right? Whenever you are about to get angry, whenever you feel that you are triggered by this anger, just ask this question: what am I thinking now? In which mode my thoughts are in now, right? Whenever you ask that question and whenever you answer it, you can find, oh, I'm about to get angry now. Now my thoughts are in anger. That is the first step, to know that you are angry. Then it comes to the second step, right? So in this second step, if you look at this, if I ask a question from you, whenever you feel angry, imagine a situation that you have felt angry about something or someone, right? How your breathing pattern works. How our breathing pattern changes when we feel angry. It speeds up and we take short breaths, right? So that gives the sign to our body, that gives the message to our body that now you're ready for getting angry. You're breathing heavily, we are breathing in short periods, and we are breathing speedily. So the first thing that you can do is to slow down your breathing pattern. Take a deep breath in and let it out. Take another deep breath in and let it out. Slowing down the breathing pattern will help you to calm your body and calm your mind, right? Whenever we feel calm and when we are about to take a rest, what is the thing that we do? For an example, after a long day of work, when you come home and after having a good shower, if you fell on the couch, right? If you fell on the bed, what is the first thing that you do? You take a deep breath in and let it out. That is the thing that you do. That means you are giving the signal to your body that you're about to get calm or to have a rest. So the thing that we have to do, whenever we feel angry, whenever we feel we panicked, just give the message to your body that be calm by taking 2 to 3 deep breaths in and out, right? So breathing can help you a lot. Then as the third step, now you're a little bit peaceful and calming. Now you can wisely reflect on your thought pattern. When you reflect about your thoughts, you can find, why did I become angry with this person? What is that? Then you can find that anger does not prevail in the outer world, in that person or that thing, specific thing. Anger prevails in my mind, right? It is something that I have created. Whenever you come to a situation that you are triggered to be angry, you come up with these two choices, either to react with negativity or to respond with positivity. That is up to you, right? And your experiences and your good and bad experiences depends on these choices that you make. So you totally have the power and you totally have the privilege to respond with positivity, right? So you have to believe in patience for that. Remember, there is nothing in this world, there is no problem in this world that has been solved with anger. That is why Buddha said, anger does not cease by anger, or hatred does not cease by hatred. Hatred is ceased by love and kindness only. So you have to believe in patience. and compassion and forgiveness. That is the way that you are going to solve the problem, right? Though you react in anger, though you yell out or scream or take actions with anger, that is not going to help. That is not going to solve the problem. It will make the problem even more worse. I have seen lots of people who could not control their anger for a split second. Just because they could not control their anger for a split second, now they are regretting for their whole life. So remember, anger is not going to help you. So when you believe in patience and kindness and compassion, you will have this strength to face that situation more positively. Remember what Buddha said. The Buddha said, before you do something from your body, from your speech, or from your mind, just wisely reflect that what I'm going to do, is this worthy of doing? Is it bringing happiness to myself, or is it bringing happiness to others? Is it going to hurt others, or is it going to hurt myself? If it is hurting you and if it is hurting to other self, do not try to do it. Remember, it is okay that we feel angry sometimes in our mind, but it is not okay to let that anger to flow out from our bodily actions and our words, right? So remember, this is how we can control it. Always believe in patience and kindness. That is where you're gonna solve the problems. So this is a little practice where we can deal with these emotions of anger. So practice these practices little by little and make your life a peaceful one. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to another video. In today's video, I'm going to introduce you to the most famous Buddhist text in this world. Now, if you are new to Buddhism and if you'd like to learn more about Buddhism, this is one of the best books that you can read. So, the book's name is Dhammapada. Now, what is Dhammapada? Dhammapada is a set of verses that was originally preached by the Buddha himself, and this Dhammapada contains 423 verses in it, and these 423 verses are divided into 26 chapters. So why Dhammapada is important? You know, for Hindus we have Gita, and in Christianity we have Bible, and in Islam we have Quran. Same like that, to the Buddhist world we have Dhammapada. Now Dhammapada is not the only text that we have to learn Buddhism. There are many texts, but this is called as the handbook of Buddhists. Why it is called as handbook of Buddhists? If you went through 2-3 random pages and if you read on 2-3 verses, you can learn many life advices. You can learn many Dhamma facts about life. So that is why it is called the handbook of Buddhists. So that is why it is widely used, and this is the most famous Buddhist text in this world. So as an example, if you turn to a random page and if you read a verse, you can find something very valuable. Let's go for that. So in 236th verse, the Buddha says, "Make an island for yourself. Strive hard and become wise. Get rid of impurities and cleanse of stain. You shall enter the celestial abode of the noble ones." It goes like that. So if you turn to another random page and if you read a verse, it goes like this. "The good shine even more afar, like the Himalayan mountain, but the wicked are unseen, like the arrows shot in the night." So if you turn to random pages and if you read, you can gain many life advices and many valuable Dhamma facts. So that is why we have to use this Dhammapada. If you are interested in using this Dhammapada, I will link down some links below that you can find Dhammapada and read it online also. And also there are some links that you can download the PDF file, links down below. So this is the importance of Dhammapada, and that is why it is known as the most famous Buddhist books in this world. So that is the end of this little introduction video. So I hope you found something very valuable to your life. So practice Dhamma and practice good deeds. So I wish you all, may all of you be well and happy forever. Namo Buddhaya. The sun rises from the east, and without stopping, it moves towards the west, and it sets in the evening. It is also like our life. We were born to this world, and from that day onwards, without stopping, we are moving towards the death. You and I are not dead yet, but we are dying without stopping. So today, let's talk about this important topic that many people doesn't like to talk about, the death. Well, most of us are scared of death. When you're in your families, when you're in your family with your family members, if you talk about death, what will happen? They will say that they will be offended, first of all, and they will say, no, you should not talk about death. Don't say that. So for ages and ages, death has been considered as something negative, something that is pessimistic, or something that people think that it is making our life very sad and sorrow and suffering. But in fact, the death is a very good teacher for all of us. And that is why the Buddha said, think about the death. Do not dodge that idea. Once our great teacher Supreme Buddha said, whether you are a male or a female, or a normal person, or a monk, or whoever you are, you have to think that you are a dying person. You are mortal and you are not escaped from death. That is what Buddha said. Why we should think about death? Why we should concentrate on our death? Well, is it making our life suffering, or is it make our life very negative? No. It is not the death that makes our life suffering or negative. It is the perspective that we are holding on to death makes us negative. So remember, we all should concentrate on our death and think about it. Always we have to think that I am a dying person. Today, I can face the death. There are many chances for that. So when we think about that, Buddha said, it says and it tells you, the death tells you that, hey, you have an expire date. You're not going to live forever on this world. No? You have a little time on this earth. So before you meet your death, you have to be a good person. You have to cultivate more good qualities in your life. You have to spread the love and affection and compassion towards this world, because that is why we are here for. So in this limited time, we have to do that. We have to cultivate more good qualities in our life, right? We have to be a good person to this world, because that will leave beautiful memories in the people's hearts. The Buddha said that people are intoxicated with their life, right? People think that they are not going to die. We often do not feel that we are going to die, do we? No. We think that we are going to live for the next day and to the next day. We have so many plans in our life, right? But from a split second, within a split second, everything can change. Okay? So that is why Buddha said, people are intoxicated with life, and when they are intoxicated with life, what happens to you? You tend to do, and you are going to do the bad things or evil things from your body, from your speech, and from your mind. But if a person who is reminding his death, if a person who is reminding that to himself that I'm going to die one day, he knows that at any time he can die, right? So he knows that I have a little time on this earth, so before I meet my death, I have to add more good qualities to my life. So that is what the death teaches us. So do not be afraid to death. Why? Because we all face the death one day, in one way or another. No one can escape it. No one can run away from it. So that is a reality. So why not we think about it and make our minds strong to face that with a happy mind, in a successful way. So that is why the Buddha said to concentrate on death. So whenever you are possible, and every morning, think that today I might die. So if I'm going to die today, what are the things that I should do? I should give more love to my people around me. I should help them, because at the end, these materialistic things that you are holding onto is not going to help you. Only the good qualities will help you on your way. So think about the death. Do not be afraid of it, because when you think about the death, your life will be more and more successful. Keep that in mind. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome you all wonderful people and my dear sons and daughters. This is the second video of Essence of Buddhism video series. In the last video, we learned the first verse of where the Buddha describes about the essence of Buddhism. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the second verse, right? So if you haven't watched the first video, just check out this video right here. You can learn about the first verse that teaches us about the essence of Buddhism. Right, let's get to the verse first. So in this verse, Buddha teaches us special qualities that we have to practice in our life. So first of all, I will chant it for you and you have to listen it closely. And after that, let's learn the meaning. The verse goes like this. Khanti paramang tapotitikha Nibbanang paramang vadanti buddha Nahi pabbajito parupaghati Samano hoti parang vihetayanto. So let's learn the meaning of this verse. Khanti paramang tapotitika. Buddha teaches us the patience is the highest virtue that you can practice in this world. Now, how can we be patient? Now, Buddha teaches that you have to be patient when people speak rude words to you, right? Most of the time, when people blames us, when people criticizes us, when people say mean things to us, what is the normal reaction, natural reaction of ourselves? The anger, the rude words, right? This is the natural reaction. But they say, no, don't react in anger, right? Be patient. Now, being patient does not mean enduring or tolerating the things out of fear. You should not be fear of anyone, right? You don't want to be fear of the person who is speaking rude to you, but still, What you have to do, patience means really being patient or tolerating these things positively, right? He's afraid of losing his temper. He doesn't like to lose his temper and speak rude words. Now, when you become patient, Buddha said, you should not hate the person who is speaking rude words to you, right? Is it very easy? No, it's very difficult, right? Now, most of the people say, when I say these things, like, it's very easy for you to say to be patient, but it's very difficult in the practical world. Yes, it is very difficult. Even we, the monks, have to go through such situations. Even we have to practice patience. We have to be kind to people sometimes. We should not let our anger to take action. Otherwise, if we keep on doing these evil things, if we keep on practicing the anger, hatred, and selfishness, there will be no value in our life. There will be no good in our life. And that is why Buddha said, you have to be patient. And also Buddha said, you have to be patient when you're going through hard and tough situations, either physically, mentally, or socially. Sometimes you have to go through tough situations in your body. You may fall ill. You may have so many difficult, painful feelings inside your body. Buddha said, be patient. Don't lose your temper. Don't be angry when you're having the physical pains. Most of the time, when you're having a physical pain inside, when your body is paining, maybe you're having a disease, you tend to lose your temper. If you visit the hospital, you will see those patients, right? Those patients who are having severe pains, they even blame the doctors. They even blame the people who are treating them to them. So Buddha said, be patient in such situations. Practice the patience. Okay? Then you will not lose your good qualities. Nibbanang paramang vadanti Buddha. Buddha said, the enlightenment is the highest achievement that you can achieve in this world. Now in Buddhism, everything boils down to Nibbana. That is the only intention and that is the only aim of practicing the Buddha's teachings. Now you may be wondering what is enlightenment is. Enlightenment is a deep and a profound topic where we have to discuss in a separate video series. Surely I will do it in the future, but for now, for your understanding, for a simple explanation, Buddha said, Ragakkayo, dosakkayo, mohakkayo, nibbanang. The ending of the desire or the greediness or the greed, dosakkayo, the ending of the anger, and the ending of the delusion or the ego is what you call the nibbana, the enlightenment. So when you end or when you remove these defilements or these impurities from your mind, the desire, the lust or the desire or the greediness, or Buddha said, the hatred, the anger, and the delusion from your mind, what happens to you, you become enlightened. Once you become enlightened, your mind becomes calm, still, peaceful, and tranquilized. And it is unshakable. That enlightenment, that achievement is unshakable. So that is the highest achievement in the Buddha's teachings. Nibbanang paramang vadanti Buddha. Nahi pabbajito paropaghati. Now this is referred to the monks actually. Buddha gives the advice to the monks. Nahi pabbajito paropaghati. He who hates and hurt others or kill others is not a monk, right? He's not a monk. He's not a true practitioner of the Buddha's teachings. Samano hoti parangvihetayanto. He who hurts others or he who makes others tired and difficult times to others is not a monk too. right? That is referred to the monks, and also you can relate it to your life. And you will not become a good person when you hate and when you hurt others. So Buddha said, Etang buddhana sasanang. This is the advice of the Buddhas to this world. Be patient, achieve the enlightenment, and do not hurt and hate others. This is the advice of all the Buddhas to this world. Now see how peaceful and how wonderful the thoughts of our Buddha and the advice of our Buddha. So we all can practice this. So as Buddhists and as everyone who practice this, if you practice this and if you go through this advice, you can have a peaceful life, right? You can have the happiness in your life. So practice it and do good and be good. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome you all wonderful people and my dear children. This is the third video of Essence of Buddhism video series. So today we are going to learn the 185th verse of Dhammapada, where Buddha describes us the essence of Buddhism, or what Buddha really taught to this world. So first of all, as usual, same as in the other videos, I will chant the words for you, and then we are going to learn the meaning. So the verse goes like this. Anupavado anupaghato patimukhecha sangvaro matanyuta cha bhattasmin pantang cha sayanasanang adhichitte cha ayogo etang buddhana sasanang. So let's learn the meaning of it. In this verse, Buddha says, Anupavado anupaghato. Do not disparage others, or do not look down on others, and do not destroy others' lives. This is the Buddha's teaching, or Buddha's advice to this world. Now in this line, Buddha says, do not look down on others. Do not compare yourself with others and do not think of yourself like I am a high-valued person. I am better than them. Right? Simply, Buddha says, in another word, Buddha says, do not be big-headed. And also, Buddha says, do not destroy the lives of beings. This is the first precept that we observe as Buddhists all around the world. Panatipata veramani sikkhapadam samadhyami. That means we refrain from taking others' lives, taking lives of the beings. So the Buddha's advice to this world, or Buddha's teaching to this world, is to refrain from being swollen-headed and to refrain from killing animals. And in the next line, Buddha says, Pati mokkhe cha sangvaro. Be disciplined according to the monastic code of conduct, or monastic rules. Now this line is referred to the monks actually, right? When it comes to the monkhood, we have the precepts. We have many precepts to protect. They are like code of conducts, right? It purifies our bodily conduct and the verbal conduct. So Buddha advises us to be disciplined. Simply, you can relate it to your life, to be disciplined from your body and from your words, right? So the discipline is a bigger part in Buddhism, to be disciplined, to have a good moral conduct. So Buddha said, be disciplined according to the monastic code. And then Buddha said, Mattanyuta cha bhattasmi. Now this is very important for every one of us, right? What is that? Be moderate in eating. The moderation of food. What do you mean by moderation of food? Simply, it means know the purpose of eating. Sometimes we forget why we are eating. Sometimes we overeat. We eat too much, and that gives this physical uncomfortableness. Now, Buddha said, eat according to your health, right? Eat the food to have a better health and to sustain this life, not to enjoy by eating too much and be living an unhealthy life. So in Buddhism, healthiness or this health is a bigger part. Buddha said, Arogya Paramalabha. Health is the greatest gift that you can receive in this world. So Buddha says, be moderate in eating, right? Do not overeat, because when we overeat, our craving and our lust take over our mind. That is why we overeat. So be moderate in eating and know the purpose of the food. Then Buddha said, Pantangcha sayanasana. Now this is also referred to the monks, right? Buddha advised us to live in the forest where you are secluded from the people. You're away from these distractions. Now, you may not have this chance to live in a forest or live in a quiet and calm and peaceful place. Maybe you are living in a town in the middle of distraction. So how could you find the peacefulness according to Buddha's teachings? Now remember, the distraction is not really the distraction. You can live peacefully and you can live calmly in the middle of the distractions too, if you find the silence in between these distractions. Because now, for an example, if we try to meditate, right? Suppose a distractive sound came up. Maybe someone is banging to a nail. Maybe someone is making some noises. What is our reaction? What will be our reaction? Our reaction will be the anger, right? Our mind just clashes with that sound. So that will be a distraction. If you know how to meditate correctly, right? If you know how to meditate correctly, you can live with that distraction. You can live with that sound. You can be friendly with that sound. When you become friendly with the noises and the distractions, they will not bother you, right? So that is the thing. You can find the peacefulness and the silence even in the middle of the distractions. So don't worry about the place you are living. Try to be peaceful. Try to do a little bit of a meditation. Be by yourself. Right? Be secluded from the people for a little while, even for a day, for a little time in a day, and then you can find the peacefulness. So that is why Buddha said, so to dwell in the forest, for the monks actually, and then adicittecha ayogo. Now this is very important. Buddha said, be devoted to the meditation. Meditation must be a bigger part of your life. There are so many people, they are not meditating, right? But meditation must be a bigger part of our life. Because through that meditation, if we are meditating, you will start to feel the peacefulness, right? If you're doing it for a long time continuously, you will start to feel. The reason why many people doesn't find meditation is so enjoyable is because they give up in the first place. They expect too much from their life. They expect this calmness and peacefulness and stillness in the mind from the first session of the meditation or first day of the meditation. Trust me, that is not going to happen for many people. If there are lucky people out there, it will happen, but For many people, it's not going to happen. So don't expect too much from your meditation. Just you have to hanging to the process, keep doing it for a long time, then you will feel the peacefulness. So these are the pieces of advice that was given by the Buddha to this world. This is what the Buddha taught to this world. If we practice this, regardless of any kind of religion, everyone can practice this, right? Everyone can master these skills. And when you practice the Buddha's teachings, surely you will find the happiness of your life. So practice the Buddha's teachings. Be mindful, be kind, and be wise. And then you can live a happy life in this world. Namo Buddhaya.